Doc on the Run. We help injured runners run.
Today on the Doc on the Run podcast, we're talking about fast and easy versus fast and cheap ways to tell if your foot is broken. I was just having a discussion with a runner during a second opinion consultation, and he asked me, what's the best way to tell if my foot is broken? And I said, okay, well, there's a couple of different options. There is basically the fast and easy way, and then there's the fast and cheap way. And then there are more complicated ways that we're not going to talk about. Well, what did I mean? Well, for example, I saw an ultramarathoner just a couple of days ago. She was actually running on Mount Tam, and she rolled her ankle, and she felt okay, so she kept running. Well, what happened is very common in that she rolled it again a little bit further down the trail, but this time she felt some kind of crunch or something, and it really hurt. However, she wasn't that far from the car, so she did what most runners would do, and she ran all the way to the car. She called me because I've seen her before for other injuries. She asked me to come to her house and look at her. I took a look at her. I saw that her foot was swollen. I suspected maybe she had actually broken one of the bones in her foot, and sure enough, she did. I decided that, and I determined that right then on the spot, sitting right there. Well, that's the fast way. What is the fast way? The fast way is, well, I've got one right here. This is an ultrasound unit. So an ultrasound unit, I actually can take this out, which I literally had in my pocket. I can put it on her foot, and I can look for a fracture. And with this ultrasound unit, I actually was able to see a fracture in the base of her fifth metatarsal where the peroneal tendon had pulled so hard it cracked the bone. Now, it was in the right position, which I could also tell by looking at it with an ultrasound unit. So if you're in the doctor's office, many times they can just literally reach in a drawer, pull out an ultrasound unit, look at it, and if they're adept at doing it, they can see whether or not the foot is broken. In her case, it was. Now, you can also get x-rays. That's the second way. So if you called me for a second opinion consultation and I'm not sitting in your living room like I was in that case, well, obviously I wouldn't be doing an ultrasound on you over webcam. So what could I do? Well, if you're in California, you're in Texas, you're in Florida, you're one of the states where I'm actually licensed, well, I could write an order for an x-ray, send it to your neighborhood imaging center. You basically go over there and for $50 or $60, they do x-rays, they get 3 views of your feet, and then we look at them on Zoom cam and go through them together. So that is also really inexpensive. It's fast, but it's not as fast as me just pulling a probe out of my pocket and looking at it while I'm sitting there with you in your living room. But that's 2 different ways that you can do it. They are different. They have advantages and disadvantages. The x-rays actually give you more detail on the bone than ultrasound does, but ultrasound lets you look at the tendons and ligaments to see if you messed up anything else. Different tests, both of them value, both of them reasonably fast and reasonably inexpensive too. So hopefully this helps you understand a little bit more about fractures. If you think you've got a metatarsal fracture, you might want to check out the Stress Fracture Masterclass, which you can get for free at docontherun.com/stress fracture masterclass. But if you like this episode, if you enjoyed it, please share it with a runner who needs to hear it, and I'll see you in the next training.
Doc on the Run. We help injured runners run.